Welcome back to another live and amplified Indie Fusion podcast. I'm your host, Tom Quiet, and we are back at it again with another amazing podcast. We are smack dab in the middle of our pancreatic cancer fundraiser, and we have our next guest joining us. We have Annie Vander.
Hi.
Are you frozen up there yet in Chicago?
Oh, yes.
Just slightly.
The snow started today.
At least I feel like it's up like right on time for Chicago. Like the first snowfall being right before Thanksgiving feels about right.
Well, honestly, I feel like it like storybook, correct. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But usually up here, and I think as I remember, if memory serves me right, you're from around here.
Yep.
But I don't know. I know there's many years where we've had snow on Halloween and a lot of it. So yeah, so we've been really lucky with 60-degree weather really up until last week. So I went out with my dogs today and I had bare feet and a t-shirt and I was like, whoa. And then the snow came down. So yeah, it's cold.
I feel that. My dad was in Dyer, Indiana, and they were like trying to get their stuff together to head back south. And he walks outside. Yeah, I was on the phone with him, and he walks outside, and he's like, "Oh crap, it's cold out here." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's freaking November in Chicago. What'd you think?"
Well, we're heading out of town. We're going on this beautiful Eastern Caribbean cruise in a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of like, oh man, I'm like, I wish it would, like, not that I really wanted it to be cold earlier, but because don't get me wrong, I love the warm weather, but I wanted it to be cold longer. So I actually felt like I escaped something, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it'll be here waiting for me when we get back home. So
For sure. Excited to have you back on. Thank you so much for joining us on our pancreatic cancer fundraiser. It's year 4 for us, so it's almost become almost become a staple because I kind of toy year in, year out if I want to continue doing it, and then every year by about August, it's like, nope, you got to do it. Just suck it up, Buttercup, and do it.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy to be back. Thanks for having me back. And I understand why you're doing it. And I think it's an awesome thing you're doing. So
yeah, I appreciate it. How's everything on your end been going? I saw you just released a new single, a Christmas single.
Yeah. Ornamental Christmas. It's I feel like most of the time when I put out new music, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like my favorite song ever, right? And then I write another one and, but for whatever reason it is, but I'm actually I can truly say, like, this piece I wrote with my producer, David Norris, and I came to him and I was like, I need to capture the feeling I get when I'm opening all the boxes. And I'm one of those people who I literally, every ornament that I have, I'll like stare at it and be like, oh, this was from Grandma so-and-so, and this was from Auntie so-and-so. And it's just like, I'll just like, instead of just putting it up, I have to like stare at it for a little bit. And literally, I don't know, in the lyrics, I get lost in the memories, right? I get lost in remembering how every single one means the world to me. Anyway, so David actually came up with the title. He goes, what about, well, because the title is just Ornamental Christmas, but he goes, what about a very merry ornamental Christmas? I was like, oh, and then the lyrics started flowing and the rest is history. So
nice.
Yeah.
That's really cool. It's a cool song. And I'm glad you didn't fall for the okie doke that a lot of musicians fall for and wait until after Thanksgiving to release your Christmas song.
Yeah. Well, and I think it might have been you that gave me the idea, like, why don't you do like right after Halloween? But like, we've got a neighbor that's 2 lots over from us, and every year, November 1st, though, like the entire house is lit. It's like the Griswold house in a good way. I mean, their house is absolutely beautiful. And the lights are beautiful, but November 1st, those lights are on. And, people start decorating early. So they need the Christmas music early.
See, the thing is, the Christmas lights on the outside of the house, I don't mind as much earlier because I understand it takes a lot of time and effort to do that.
Yeah.
So you want it to kind of be up for as long as possible.
Yeah.
But it's when everything else starts to kind of come up right after Halloween.
I don't really, I'm not a big fan of everything being in the stores and Christmas being pushed before.
In July?
Well, yeah. Or even before Halloween, or
Yeah.
honestly, even right after Halloween. So, like, on a personal level, and then, but I guess, does that make me a hypocrite? I release Christmas music November 1st, but, but at marketing, if someone's going to start decorating, and who am I to say what's right and what's wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
If someone wants to be in the Christmas mood, then have your brand new Christmas song. So, um, and I'm happy to share it. I mean, heck, I'll listen to it in the middle of the year. I wrote it,
Yeah.
I recorded it in this, wrote it. I think it was CRS when I was in
Okay.
for CRS is maybe when it was written or shortly after. I can't remember. Maybe it was before that, but I didn't actually get around to doing all of the harmonies and different things until summer. So I was singing Christmas in summer. So,
Nice. Hey, you know what though? It's all. I completely understand where you're coming from. I was at a store in like August or September, end of August, beginning of September somewhere, and you already saw the Christmas stuff starting to pop up, and I'm
yeah.
like, as Halloween approaches, November 1st, I get it because there's not a whole thing behind Thanksgiving, like a big push behind Thanksgiving like that. I
Yeah.
get it, but September, it's a little early for me. So
Yeah. No, I agree. I completely agree.
yeah, but it is what it is. So you said you wrote this song during the summertime, Ornamental Christmas?
I honestly can't remember exactly when it was written.
Okay.
That's terrible. But some of the things they all like, I don't know, when songs come, when they happen, they happen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would have to go back to the note, like my little notepad on my phone and see what the date was.
Yeah.
But it could have been it could have been around February of last year or maybe in the winter of last year. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
sure. But in the summertime, I was back because I know we tracked this in the winter of last year. Um, well, actually, winter earlier this year, winter of 2024. And then the vocals weren't complete until August because we laid the tracks down, and then I
Mm-hmm.
just came back to do the vocals at a later time because I'm based up in Chicago. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah, and there's layers and layers and layers of harmonies on this, which was one of the most fun things to do. So
I
um
really enjoyed the flute on it. That was that was a nice twist. I was not expecting it.
So it's it kind of funny and not so funny at the same time. Um, my David and I had talked about putting a flute on there, and when he first let me hear it, I think I had demo love for sure, and then when he sent it back, because the guy who's playing woodwinds on there, because there's flute and clarinet,
Mm-hmm.
and it's absolutely brilliant, I think. But when I first heard it, I was listening to it because I was, getting the song ingrained in my head too. When I was going to do the vocal parts, and I did. I listened. I'll guilty. I listened to Christmas music all summer, and I loved it, even though it was my own song. But when I first heard it, I was like, oh, I don't know if I like it. Not that it was bad, but then he's like, really, and I don't know if it was just a knee-jerk reaction on my part, and I felt really bad because there's so much work that was put into this, but now, yeah, if it was, I can't imagine the song without it. I love it.
Yeah.
It's not your typical, it just Christmas country pop song at all. Like to me, it's like, it sounds like a classic, like sunshine poppy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, and I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I think I love about it so much.
Fair. When the flute came on, for whatever reason, in the back of my head, all I saw was Ron Burgundy.
Yes, I love that you said that.
Ron Burgundy. And I was just sitting there, I was like, Yaz flute. It's the Yaz flute.
Oh,
And
that's awesome. That's
yeah,
awesome. Well,
yeah,
when I was singing it too, like we were just thinking Ron Burgundy the whole time. And I'm so glad you're the first person that's actually like said that out loud, like, in an interview or whatever. But there were so many times when we were recording this, I couldn't help but giggle, or I would think of Austin Powers, just like
yeah,
the feel of it. It's just like, I don't know. I just,
yeah.
you know where I'm
Nice.
going with it.
Oh yeah, I do. I do.
Yep.
I just heard it and I was just like, I think I need to watch Anchorman tonight. It's
Yes.
so, but no, so that's cool. So it's been out for little less than 3 weeks at this point.
Yep.
How's the reception been? What's running through your mind right now?
I think it's pretty good. There are a couple people who I think like it's not, it's not a cookie cutter song.
Hmm.
And a couple people have said, yeah, I really like the flute, which is, and I think it's because people you just don't expect it
Yeah,
anymore, right? Um, but yeah, I think the reception's been pretty good. I've been happy with the feedback, and yeah, yeah, it's
nice,
fun.
nice. So what's kind of the plan looking forward? Obviously, we can hear in the background. You got practice getting ready to go off here in a little bit, but
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even realize you heard that.
no, it's all good. It
Yeah,
adds to the ambiance.
there
So
you go. Yeah, I actually have a full band rehearsal tonight. We're just getting ready. We're putting an EPK together. Just to get some things booked out. We're looking to put a spring tour together.
nice.
And there's some things in the works, but I just, I want something really solid put together to show off the guys that play for me,
Yeah,
because they're amazing. None of us can do what we do without them. I actually wrote another Christmas song just 2 days ago. I
nice.
just was like, just up here with one of my friends, and I started. I don't know. It's just in the Christmas mood, and I don't know. I don't want to spill the beans too much, but I think I'm gonna let them hear it and see if they can even like what we can do here, just for fun,
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know.
I'm
But
guessing you'll hold on to that one till next year.
maybe.
Uh-oh.
I,
Uh-oh.
yeah, well, I think like just the timing of it would be really difficult to get it packaged up and out. But
Mhm.
I think it just depends on time. Because I am out of town for 10 days.
Mhm.
And leaving in 2 days. So it's like, yeah, so I just don't know. But maybe you guys, maybe somewhere on my socials there'll be a little taste of it somewhere.
Okay. Okay. Well, I was telling Nicole earlier, I was like, you know, I think we're gonna do a Christmas special this year. Like we don't usually do that.
Yeah.
And so now that I've kind of gotten myself into the habit of promoting original Christmas music,
I
look,
love that.
obviously ornamental Christmas will get put in on that one. So,
Oh, thank you.
but I'm not officially announcing anything yet, just throwing it out there. So,
Well, that's kind of like what I just did with the other one, which will be my fourth original Christmas song. And now
okay.
I'm on a mission to, if you asked me even a month ago, I was considering, I'm like, well, what if I just do a couple of my own takes on a cover? Like, what's my favorite Christmas cover? And I'm like,
Mhm.
I don't know. And somebody else had, kind of, I don't want to say talk me off the ledge, because I was like, oh, I'd like to fill it up and then like take some of the originals I already have and then just call it my Christmas EP.
Mhm.
And then the person that was in the room kind of said, everybody does, and not to put it down, because I love singing Christmas carols and,
Yeah.
and, Christmas covers, don't get me wrong. But they're like, you've already got 3 original Christmas songs. And when that person said it, Nicole was in the room and she's just like, yeah, everybody does that. And she goes, not Annie. I was like, okay, now I'm on a mission. So
Right.
yeah.
Well, it's one of those things where I can almost see it now as like a 10 song, like full length thing where you do 5 originals, 5 covers, and call it the naughty or nice list or something. Come up with some like thing where like the nice list is all your original music, but the naughty list is all the covers, but it's all covers that people don't do. Like you try it would take some like real digging to find Christmas songs that people haven't covered a half a million times, but
That would take a lot of, yeah, a lot of digging. That's an idea. That's
yeah.
definitely an idea.
So it would, it's just one of those things where I feel like a lot of people would find the humor in it, but also find it like a cool take on doing a Christmas album because it's either all originals or all covers. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. No, I just like, yeah, I found this new love of, I don't know, well, I get, like I said, now I'm on this mission to just keep creating all the Christmas stuff.
mm,
It's fun. And I think that the other part that's fun with it is every single year you watch the single become brand new again,
mm-hmm.
which is cool. And it's so, but yeah, but I mean, the other ones too, I guess I'm going to dig though, going back to what you said about the naughty list, like no one covers these songs, but I'm going to cover it.
Yeah,
So,
and it does it very tongue in cheekly because it's like you're still doing the covers, and so you're still playing to the norms of like Christmas music, but you're doing it in your own distinct way of like doing like B-side cuts or whatever you'd want to call it. So
correct.
yeah,
Correct. Yeah.
that's interesting. So
Yeah.
um but so what's kind of the plans for I know you mentioned that you're getting ready to leave here for some much needed time off or well deserved time off.
Oh, well, thanks. Yeah, my husband and I are celebrating a pretty big anniversary.
Nice.
So we are going on a cruise and we will be gone over the Thanksgiving holiday, which
Nice.
is, um, yeah, we'll be in the middle of the ocean enjoying turkey dinner. So I can't
Nice.
complain. Um, yeah, and then as I mentioned, we're putting an EPK together,
Mm-hmm.
and looking to get some things booked out. I'm hoping to get a nice little spring tour in, so I'll be announcing dates probably pretty soon with where we're going to be. But yeah, we're just getting everything prepped and all of our ducks in a row. I'm super proud of the band that we have put together. It's
Nice.
they're amazing. So, and I just feel real blessed to have them here and not have to go all the way to Nashville for
Right.
for that. So I don't know. I'm a lucky girl.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah, I've decided for Thanksgiving this year in true Chicago fashion, I'm gonna make a pizza.
Oh, I love that. Actually,
And like actually
well, I guess well, anyone that knows me, I don't love pizza, but I love that you're like doing the whole Chicago thing.
yeah. It's well because normally I'll go to like my sister's place, but
Yeah.
this year I booked a podcast show in Tucson on the 30th.
Okay.
And I was like, I can't swing a trip to Chicago and then the next day have to leave to go to Tucson.
Yeah.
Financially, I just cannot do that.
Yeah.
So it's one or the other. And Tucson, this is like a thing that we've wanted to do for a very long time. So
Cool. That sounds lovely too.
it'll be nice. I'm slightly worried about the weather, but everybody's like, no, Arizona is beautiful right now, so don't worry about it. And I'm like,
Oh, good. Good. Well, I don't know. I've been to the Grand Canyon.
mm-hmm,
And I know it, like early in the morning, it was, if I memory serves me right, it was a little chilly at the top of the Grand Canyon. And then you hike like we didn't get all the way
mm-hmm.
down, but we got darn close. And it was like 100 degrees. And then
Yep.
we went back up, and then the weather was like not cold, but it wasn't, I don't know, it was comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. The only time I've been there, the weather was lovely.
Yeah. Fair. So obviously you've got a busy couple weeks coming up, but any other have you been getting into anything else outside of music, like exploring new hobbies or stuff like that?
Um, it's funny because my husband and I we were talking about how like we should find something outside of music stuff too to do together. So I I haven't decided what it's going to be yet. He suggested golf, but he's a pretty serious golfer, and
Mhm.
I'm like I'm the comic relief when it comes to golf. I'm the girl who will like if I hit one, I cheer so loud for myself that I'm like, oh, watch, the ball went over there. It doesn't even matter if it went to the right place. I'm just happy that I hit it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, whatever. Again, comic relief. So I don't know if that's the best hobby for me, but we'll see. I don't know. Undecided.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But once again, I do want to thank you so much for joining us. I know you got band practice getting ready to come up here. If anybody wants to check out Ornamental Christmas, social medias, all that fun stuff, where's the best place to find you?
You can find me on all the streaming platforms: Spotify, Amazon, iTunes, Pandora. It's just under Annie Vander, Ornamental Christmas, and it's on the social media platforms too. If someone wants to make a reel with it, you can find it on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all the things. So yeah.
Nice. I dig it. I absolutely dig it. But once again, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you everybody for tuning in, and we will catch you all here in a bit.